What is good, my peeps? It's the Ruckus back at you again. And what we have today is our wrap up to the Zabu Build-A-Figure wave. This was an excellent wave in my estimation. It was not assigned to any one franchise. In other words, it wasn't an X-Men wave, it wasn't an Avengers wave, it wasn't a Spider-Man wave, etc. It was a mix mash, and I think it worked out great this go round. We got characters from basically all over the place, and it culminated into building our first animal, basically, and that being Zabu. For the 616 comic line, we've had animals before, but I'm not counting Cosmo from the MCU stuff. For as far as comic-based characters are concerned, this is our first go-round right here. And I think Hasbro more or less nailed it. I think it would have been a total success, a total hammer to nailhead if Zabu would have had some dry brushing, some wash to bring out the detail on his fur. Because as a figure goes, this figure is great. The articulation is there. The fun factor is there. The fact that we got Zabu as a Build-A-Figure and his companion, Kazar, Lord Kevin Plunder himself, was part of this wave. It made it even more special. We didn't have to wait. It was great to get these two. We'll have to wait for Shauna, Kazar's wife. But Zabu and Kazar have been down forever since day ones. They are truly day ones to the fullest. So I'm glad that Hasbro saw fit to give us both basically at the same time. We had 7 figures in this wave. 6 were required to build Zabu, and the one figure that was not required is you see the image on the packaging on our far left. That would be the Superior Iron Man. The rest of the wave was Black Winter, Thor in parenthesis. You've got Wolfsbane, Kazar, of course, Red Widow, and Icarus, and bringing up the rear, literally so, by the way, is Cable. Cable was the last to come in, and when you look at all 7 figures required to build Zabu, Cable is bringing up the rear there too, so it was almost appropriate that it took a little bit more time to acquire Nathan Christopher Ascani's son Summers, aka Cable. But we got them all, and we've got them all built. Since I went on and did essentially a dual review last go round, showcasing Kazar and then putting Zabu together, and then having them together to close out the review. I didn't want the review to go too long, so I figured I'd do a little recap overview today and do my ranking that way. And that's how we'll end cap this wave of figures. We kicked off the series of figures for the Zabu wave with the Superior Iron Man. Strangely enough, we're kicking this off with Superior Iron Man again, and for totally different reasons. We kicked off with him initially because he was the first figure I received in this wave, and that's why he was first. And it was appropriate because he didn't come with a Build-A-Figure piece, so that made it good to get that out of the way before we would really get down to brass tacks. The reason I say, strangely enough, that I'm kicking this off with Superior Iron Man for this end cap ratings review is because I am placing him at number 7. good figure. I can't front. It's not that I dislike the figure. It's always difficult when you like all the figures. Somebody has to be first, and unfortunately, someone has to be last. I decided to rank Superior Iron Man as last, despite the fact that I love the maskless head sculpt and the design of the armor in general. The reason he gets last place is because I know that technically the armor is white, but it would have been so much better if we had gotten a silver or silverish kind of hue to it. And as much as I love the design of the armor, as much as I love that head sculpt, it it just it throws me off. But like I said, he's still a great figure. It's just that it would have been better if it was in silver. So Superior Iron Man rides the bottom at 7. Coming in at 6 is Black Winter (parenthesis Thor). Once again, good looking figure. It's based off of Herald Thor, Galactus Herald Thor, aka King Thor, from last year, early last year sometime. I believe it was last year if it was in 2022. Anyway, all they did was, it was a redo, basically. The costume all in black. They made the hammer in black and gave the hammer some effects that looked like a really inky black, viscous, bubbly kind of an effect, and they gave him the craziest of head sculpts. The head sculpt is banging, kind of problematic. It could be problematic if it wasn't for the fact that the figure itself is just big and has weight to it. The head sculpt would have definitely been problematic in terms of throwing the figure off and making it hard to stand. As it is, it's still kind of it's an issue trying to get him into some poses because of that head sculpt, but it's still a very, very nice figure. And along with that crazy hairdo, he comes with a nice looking tattered cape that's also it's got an inky black visage to it as well. It's a nice figure, it really is. It's just that once again, everything can't be at the top of the list. Coming in at number 5, we have the Red Widow. I placed her down at number 5 for only one reason. Articulation is very problematic, and that's because of her design, unfortunately. Her cape, while accurate to the character, makes it problematic to get her into some nice poses. You can still get away with some, but it's very, very difficult to do so. I love the look of the character. I mean, quite frankly, I love the look on all of the characters in this wave. It's just that that cape. It really impedes getting her into some very dynamic poses. She is an athlete, an acrobatic character, and like in the same vein as, say, a Batman. Batman's very athletic, but he has that cape, and we have to suspend disbelief that doggone cape doesn't get in the way of when he's trying to do his thing. And that's a good thing. When it comes to DC, Batman's my favorite character. Red Widow was great getting her because it helped to complete the Winter Guard, more or less complete the Winter Guard. And the look is good. I believe the one faux pas Hasbro did is they've got the belt, which is loose fitting on the figure. They got it backwards. In other words, it should be inverted. But other than that, I mean, it's accurate to the character. It's just that that cape really does it really impedes on the fun factor, and as a result, Red Widow comes in at 5. Coming in at number 4 is Rain Sinclair, aka Wolfsbane. Now, This was another nice figure for us. We had a kind of sorta version of Wolfsbane prior to. It was from the Walgreens exclusive Moonstar figure, Danny Moonstar, and it came with two additional heads. One was Karma, and then the other was Wolfsbane, and it also came with an additional set of hands for Wolfsbane, so she could have clawed, furry hands. And you know, if you were like me, I ended up getting 3 of those figures just so I can have 3 different characters, and it served, I guess, technically. The reason I say technically is because I never really got around to opening them up and displaying them like that individually. The first time I opened one Danny Moonstar was in order to showcase the figure with Wolfsbane's head and hands to compare with what we have here. And what we have here is a hell of an upgrade to the Danny Moonstar self-kit bash of Wolfsbane for sure. We've got better body, pinless joints, both elbow and knees, thicker legs. The face sculpt is very, very nice. And yeah, this turned out to be a very, very nice figure. We got to complete our X-Force team as she's in her X-Force colors. And that's another plus. So back to back, our number 5 pick helped complete the Winter Guard. And here our number 4 pick is has helped complete X-Force, which has been a long time coming. Rounding out our top 3 and coming in at number 3 is our last reviewed figure, Kazar. He's coming in at number 3. And I think that that's high praise considering that all there is to him is a loincloth and boots. You know what I'm saying? Butts on the Vulcan body. And I think it would have still been number 3 even if it didn't have the distraction of those lines that are on the forearms, because it is the Vulcan body. The Vulcan body is great, and we seem to be loving it, even though it's been coming up a lot. I would not be surprised if collectors in the community will start whining and complaining about the overuse of that as well. I don't know what else they want done. Probably some modifications to the body, like maybe inverting the, changing the torso articulation, invert ab crunch and things of that nature. But for right now, the Vulcan body is definitely all of that. And the simple fact that we got him to go along with Zabu, that just adds big time to the fun factor. Being able to articulate him, that is one thing, but to be able to articulate him with his buddy, with the guy that raised him when he was a young pup, or cub, since we're talking about saber-toothed cats here. Yeah, so Kazar coming in at number 3. At runner-up, aka number 2, we have the Eternal known as Icarus, and definitely a better figure than I thought it would be. I believe it would have come in at number 2 behind what our number 1 is. You guys already know because we've done the countdown, so that's pretty obvious. But what would have made it a more difficult decision to put him at number 2 is that we have no effects that demonstrate his energy powers. He's a cosmic enhanced being, immortal, and he shoots optic blasts out of his eyes, and he's capable of emitting them from his hands, and we got nothing. So that made it an easier number 2 decision than it would have been if we had gotten those things. And you see how he's posed, because he's got an attitude. He thinks Hasbro should have equipped him with energy effects as well. So we are in agreement there. I'm quite sure most of you guys probably feel the same way. But other than that, great looking character. Definitely accurate to the source material. The blues, the reds, and the golds straight pop. The head sculpt is on and cracking. The hair even has a wash in it, so it brings out that blonde in there. This is definitely a winner, and maybe in another wave it would come in at number one. And here we have first is last and last is first. Cable, the last figure acquired in this wave to build Zabu and just to have the wave completed, comes in at number one. This Cable was very surprising. I knew it would be a good figure. I thought just from initial viewings that it was going to be a little bit smaller than what we're used to. But he's actually more or less the same size as any other Cable we've gotten in terms of height. He's not as bulky as some past iterations of Cable. One, because the costumes that he wore in previous versions were more bulky, more padding and all that stuff, so it gave the appearance that he was bigger than he was. Still a nice size figure, by the way. And the other reason is they did, meaning Hasbro, slim him down a bit. And it looks good. It's loosely based off of the Marvel vs. Capcom game. That's where this comes from. Even though I've got him at number one, he's in no way, shape, or form perfect. His metal arm or techno-organic arm is pinless, which is cool. His knees are pinless. But for some crazy reason, the organic right arm has got pins. I don't know what Hasbro was thinking. And the other downside too, and it's basically, this is subjective, obviously, that being choice of weapons. We've seen those weapons before. That's not the issue. We've always seen weapons be recycled with Hasbro. The issue is this is Cable. We know Cable to be blazing big, crazy weapons, which is why I pilfered the weapons from the Marvel/Diamond Select Cable, which was out several years ago, and have now equipped this Cable with those weapons, and this is more like it. I know you guys agree, but I'll ask anyway, what do you guys think? Anyway, that is Cable coming in at number one. But the absolute star of the wave is the Build-A-Figure, as it should be. That isn't always the case, but it's definitely the case this go round. Zabu is without a doubt the best figure in this wave. And considering how nice this wave is, that is saying a lot. I am very elated with this wave. Hasbro, I should say, Hasbro is knocking it out the park, but specifically we're talking about Marvel Legends. Marvel Legends has been on a mission. I think they've felt Classified series breathing down their necks, and they were like, nah, we've got to regain our crown. They have been coming up with some winners. The Iron Man Retro Wave, banging, the announcements they've been coming up with, banging their 85th anniversary line of figures that we're going to be getting. Crazy, a lot of them, some of the other announcements that they've been talking about has been top notch. I'm looking forward to getting them all. I'm loving it. Anyway, yes, that is Zabu right there. I can't say too much about the figure. The articulation is crazy, and the look is just it's right on point. Hasbro really did their research, and they have the design of this saber-toothed cat the way a saber-toothed cat is supposed to look. Saber-toothed cats are bulkier than, say, lions or tigers. They have shorter limbs, especially their rear limbs are shorter than their forelimbs, and it shows here. Saber-toothed cats were built for power, not for speed. And it shows right here with Zabu. The head sculpt is crazy, the green eyes, the teeth, nice white looking, ivory looking teeth. This is a winner. This This figure is just on point. It's the right size. It could have probably been just a little bit bigger because it is representing Smilodon populator. There are 3 different species of Smilodon. Populator is the largest, and I know that that's supposed to be the species that Zabu is supposed to be representing. But be that as it may, he's representing the best of this wave. He's the Build-A-Figure, and he's the best figure, hands down. And so that does it. That wraps it up for the 2024 Marvel Legends Zabu Build-A-Figure wave, comprised of characters from all different franchises. And Hasbro knocked it out the park with this wave. Like I said before, it was somewhat difficult to come up with my rankings because I love all the figures. I really do. I love the how they look, the things that separated them from the rest from being number one or whatever. Are some things like in the case of Red Widow, that's beyond the control. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, this has been a great wave. We've completed a couple teams. We've begun a new team in the form of Icarus and the Eternals. We got a team, or a duo, if you will, a partnership within one wave, that with Khazar and the Build-A-Figure Zabu. There's a lot to be said with this wave of figures. The fun factor is definitely there. You will enjoy this wave for sure. And if you are a fan of Zabu, or if you were not, you will be if you acquire this wave. So let me know what you guys think about this wave. What are your rankings? Put that down in the comments below. While you're down there, if you have not subscribed, do so. Share the video, like the video, and definitely comment, as I stated before. Hit the notification bell if you want to be notified when I upload another video. We're all out of waves right now, so it's time to play catch up with some of the individually sent acquired figures. So we'll see what's next, but we'll get to that when we get to that, and that's how that'll get done.